I go for refuge and am enlightened to the Buddha, the Dhamma, the Sangha. By my accumulations of the practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge and am enlightened to the Buddha, the Dhamma, the Sangha. By my accumulations of the practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge and am enlightened to the Buddha, the Dhamma, the Sangha. By my accumulations of the practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. Sanje joda soge jonam la chanju bardu dane gyapsuch nage jinso gebe sonam ge drola pengire sange dubara ishu Sanje joda chanju bardu dane gyapsuch nage jinso gebe sonam ge drola pengire sange dubara ishu Sanje joda soge jonam la chanju bardo dane gyapsuch dage jinso gebe sonam ge dola pencere sange drubara esho. Sidnila. Taditi. Om ye dharma hetu prabhavam Hetum tesham datagato hyavatat tesham chayo nirodha evam vati mahashramanaye svaha Om ye dharma tesham chayo nirodha Evam vati mahashramanaye svaha Om ye dharma hetu prabhavam Hetum tesham datagato hyavatat Tesham chayo nirodha Evam vati mahashramanaye svaha. All phenomena arise from causes. The causes are taught by the Tathagata. The cessation causes as well as taught by the great seer. Okay. So I'm sure that you have many questions. What we do is that we'll try to finish this text, and then tomorrow we have 2 sessions, one in the morning, besides the early morning practice, at 9 o'clock class, and 11:30 class. We'll do sessions tomorrow, and then afternoon we will have the Tsok offering at 2. Or otherwise we'll do one thing. Let's say that let's say 2:30. 2:30 we'll have, instead of 3, tomorrow we'll have it at 2:30, 2:30 to 3:30 we'll have question answer session. Any question that you might have, you can bring them. If possible, have the written, that is better for me. Because with the written, your questions are well formulated. If not written, then random you can ask any question, and then we can distract and it'll be very less productive. So if possible, bring the questions on the table. And okay, whether emptiness, bodhicitta, whatever, from 2:30 to 3:30, Igala, 2:30 to 3:30 tomorrow. And then 3:30 we'll start the Tsok offering. Tsok offering will be not too long, it's going to be short. And then by 3:30, 4:30, say 5:30, everything will be concluded. Okay, good.
Shira, do we have any teaching on the last day?
No, tomorrow's the last day. I'm flying back today. Then if you just come to Delhi. Okay, you are on 18. So your thought and confused mind by the piling up of whatever objects you are attached to, misery a thousandfold will ensue. So with attachment, only misery is arise. I don't know what that somebody, I think it was him or somebody who said that they say you learn about truth of what four negatives, truth of suffering, to the cause of suffering, attachment as the root of suffering. So here we see that ultimate root is self-grasping ignorance. So now that you've learned it, whereas in day-to-day life experience, self-grasping ignorance, we have no experience. It is there, but we don't know. We're not aware it is there. But attachment aware. So we see that while we're aware that there's attachment, there's anger and so forth, but we don't really pay heed to get rid of them. So as per how the ordinary people can, we the people can see things, be aware of, we see the attachment is the cause of suffering, it's the root of suffering. In the conventional sense. When you go deeper, it's as the inner pure attention is there. And still deeper, self-grasping ignorance. Okay, so there should be no contradiction where attachment is seen as the root of the miseries and self-grasping the root. Actually, the root is the self-grasping ignorance. But why the attachment said is that how the ordinary people can understand. You know that attachment is arising within us. Anger is arising within us. These emotions, we know, we are aware. So we are aware, so what we are aware, we have to take measures to stop them. And then go deeper, philosophically go deeper to understand that self-grasping ignorance is there. And before that, inner pure attention is there. Very good. 19. Hence the wise should not be attached because fear is born from attachment. Yes. And we all have our own personal experiences where attachment gives rise to, more and more miseries. Hence the wise should not be attached because fear is born from attachment, from the fear of losing things, losing what they feel attached to. With a firm mind, understand well that it is the nature of these things to be discarded. Finally, that all composite things are impermanent. All composite things are impermanent. So even if you feel that, okay, now I got the best thing that I want, and then one day it should be, this is to be separated. This is the nature of the things. Hence the wise should not be attached because fear is born from attachment. With a firm mind, understand well that it is the nature of these things to be discarded. Although I may have much material wealth, be famous and well spoken of, whatever fame and renown I have amassed has no power to accompany me after death. This is something, all composite things impermanent. But the impermanence, gross impermanence, subtle impermanence, gross impermanence, particularly impermanence of death. If you're aware of that, then arrogance based on your knowledge, arrogance based on your wealth, power in these things, this arrogance will go down. It doesn't mean the power will disappear. Wealth will not disappear. Power will not disappear. My arrogance will go down. And arrogance goes down, the arrogance destroys your virtue. So virtue will be protected. So this will be helpful. And the person becomes somebody who's being loved by others. Because you're not, so the tendency is that there's a person who's arrogant, you don't really love that person. You see the arrogance, instantly people keep distance. Okay. Then where we see that the saying you have power. Okay, one thing that we keep in mind is that many of you already know that younger ones, this is something that would be very helpful for us. I heard it in my 20s that if you really want to know, check the person's quality, how good the person is, some say give power in his hands and then see how the person uses the power. If the person abuses the power, that is the indication the person is very low quality. Whereas by using the power, make things grow for everybody, yourself, others, grow, that is a very mature person. Likewise, so he says that
If you want to see the quality of the person, you whelm the person's sound. Then you will be puffed by arrogance. That's very low quality thinking. So that way, there's a tendency for that person to, they say, engage in negativities, accumulate negative non-vicious actions, and thereby will destroy you, make you suffer so much in the future. Okay, so now to say, like what we read, we used to read in the 8 verse mind training by Geshe-la in the early morning session. To cultivate this cherishing others, sense of cherishing others, we need to put effort in 2 ways. One, then undermine the discordant factors, undermine which hampers the growth of compassion, like anger, ego, and so forth. Diminish them, remove them. And there are the conducive factors, try to increase them. Enrich these things. So this is what we need to put effort in. And we are all dependent on origination. Even your mind is also dependent on origination. The more we think about these things, okay, these are the factors: ego, anger, and the looking down upon others, being at the judgment of others. So these are discordant factors. Finally, my compassion. Where my compassion grows, my happiness grows. My Buddha nature inside manifests. When my compassion is diminished, I will suffer. I'll go deeper into misery. So giving this, always be mindful of that, and then see how do we suppress or remove your ego, anger, and so forth. This is one effort. Other effort is try to just do everything to promote, to enrich your compassion. When these factors increase, these golden factors diminish. So this should be our effort. So now the tips are given here. For example, like say when somebody praises you, you may feel then egoistic. So it says that 21. If there is someone who despises you, what pleasure can I have in being praised? So if somebody praises you and you feel puffed up that I'm somebody, also know that there are other people who despises you, who look down upon you. So therefore, think of that. Instantly your ego will calm down. And sometimes you feel so low that I'm nobody. You're going to get, I'm nobody, I'm just worthless, I'm just hopeless, I'm just nobody. So or somebody say they criticize you and so forth. And think of those people who really loves you, who really appreciate you. Think of these, instantly your mind will be uplifted. In other words, strike a balance. Not to let your mind go overexcitation, and know that the mind will go too down with the depression. So it says, if there is someone who despises me, what pleasure can I have in being praised? Meaning that there's no reason for me to feel puffed up when somebody praises me. Or if there's another who praises me, there are some people who praise me, who takes care of me, who love me, then what displeasure can I have in being despised? Even if somebody despises me, but many others, they are there to praise me. Okay, so that sort of balance. With a balanced mind, then you can keep improving. Otherwise, you'll be thrown extremes with emotions. 22. If even the conqueror meaning the Buddhas will conquer your mental defilements. When you become a Buddha, you become a conqueror. The one who conquers, not external enemies, conquer your internal enemies. What are internal enemies? Self-grasping, ignorance, inappropriate attention. Anybody who can share with me something comprehensive? Attachment, aversion, ignorance. Anyone? Something very comprehensive. Comprehensive meaning which is very inclusive for everything. Anyone? Yes. Or the best one would be say afflictive obscurations and cognitive obscuration. So Yuki said obscurations. Yes, I would be more happy. It made me happy. It's very comprehensive, but better would be say afflictive obscurations and cognitive obscurations. That would be very complete. attachment, anger, jealousy, they all fall in the category of afflictive obscurations. And yeah, okay. So on the conqueror, the one who conquers your afflictive obscurations and cognitive obscurations. These are the real eternal enemies. The one who conquer that, even if say, so the Buddha, even if even the conqueror, the Buddhas, were unable to please the various inclinations of different beings. So sometimes we become what? People pleasers, right? Oh, I should make him happy, otherwise he will say bad things about me. So we always try to please others. So as in the by pleasing others is very important. But at the same time, it wastes your time. If it wastes your time, and you say your energy is drained, and you don't get time to think of something more worthy to do, then we just make the other person, particularly if the other person is thinking so low, very selfish, try to please him, all your energies will be gone after this. So therefore, don't waste your time, particularly to please someone who's very selfish. You getting it? This is so important. If you really want to please them meaning help them. The best is awakening Buddha nature. Awakening Buddha nature as soon as possible, and then you can truly help others. This is cost effective. Okay. So therefore, there's no point in trying to please everybody, meaning that it's just waste your time pleasing the selfish people. So if you give something, they'll be very pleasant, they'll be very happy momentarily. Next time you don't have everything to give. Next time they expect, and then you don't have, and then they show anger. Well, how many met such people in your life? Yes, it happens. It happens. Okay. And I hope we are not one of them. Okay. If even the conqueror was unable to please the various inclinations of different beings, then what need to mention such an evil person, meanings a person like me, an evil person such as I. So here, when you say evil, it doesn't mean that you are evil. So it's deliberately to undermine your ego, undermine your anger, ego, and so forth, self-cherishing. That is for that reason. It's not that you are bad. Always keep in mind that when you feel low, keep think of your Buddha nature. You also have the potential to become Buddha. Okay. Therefore, I should give up the intention to associate with the worldly. What is meaning? These childish beings, people who are, only happy if you do, if you join them drinking. You getting it? And then okay, now I want to Tushita. I want to stay away from them. What is that? Very boring. And then angry. You said you are a hopeless person. What is this? Right? All what you did the last many years just washed away, gone. So therefore, it's no point. So if they dissociate from you, that's good. Look for a new good circle, a circle of new circle of people who are like-minded, who are into Dharma. Okay. They scorn those who have no material gain. So what are these childish people? There's no point in pleasing them, because the moment what is their attitude? They scorn those who have no material gain and say bad things about those who do have. And how can they who are by nature so hard to get along with ever derive any pleasure from me? So no point. But it doesn't mean that you have to despise them, be scornful of them. No, right? Keep distance, grow yourself, feel compassion towards them, and pray that I may get strength and skills one day to benefit all these people, the Shantish. Okay. 24. It has been said by the Tathagatas, the Buddhas, it has been said by the Buddha that one should not befriend the Shantish. Because unless they get their own way, these Shantish are never happy. They are never happy unless you go in their direction. And what is their direction? Their direction is to drag you into more miseries and selfishness. When shall I come to dwell in forests? Okay, now. So this is all to all that we tend to be dragged by the people. Our inclination, we are feeling weak without the other people. I cannot go my own way. So that will really steal time, and you will not get time for meditation and so forth. So therefore, now what is the best thing? Is in terms of if you people, they are like-minded people who encourage you into the Dharma practice, very good. Otherwise, who drag you into the pubs, drinks and so forth, stay away from them. So what is a good place? When shall I come to dwell in forest among the deers, the birds and the trees? They said nothing unpleasant, and they are delightful to associate with. Just be with them is so delightful. Okay, so it's not that everybody can do that, but at least think of these that say the way necessary for the attaining fearlessness, infinite happiness. Whatever the situation is best for me, I should be ready to do that. You're getting it? So for the time being, not that everybody is ready for what is being said here, but mentally try to ready yourself that whatever situation is best for me, for the time being, it may not be best for me. For example, I'm leaving everything, go to the forest and so forth, may not be best for us, but mentally, this is something which very courageous people, very strong people can do. Not anybody can do that. Simply because you cannot do that, don't feel that you're bad. And also don't think that I have to do that, right? I have to do that, and then if you don't do that, then you feel bad. No, don't think like this. Okay, I should be ready. Whenever mentally I should be prepared to go in this direction where my meditation is addressed. For some people, there's escapism. Escapism, oh, I'm tired of my family. I want to leave everything and go to a place where nobody knows me. This is escapism. It's not like what the Bodhisattva say. You're getting it? So it says that those people who do not want to leave the cozy place, good food, and these are the people who should mentally think of leaving. Those people who want to leave is escapism. They have to learn how to stay in the community. You're getting it? Because it's escapism. They don't want to take I won't say they don't want to take it. I won't go to that extent of using strong words, because I know some people, they really go through difficulties in their families. Not because of the mistake, conventionally speaking, not the mistake. It was a very difficult environment, so they leave everything. We really need to empathize. But there are some, who is like escapism. So the best thing is that, okay, just think of study these things, and you don't do it right now. Mentally just say, oh, what is that line? If I go in the forest and then do my meditation there, but don't do that. You're getting it? So when you're ready, do it. Okay. I know your question, when will I be ready? How do you know I'm ready? Okay. 25. When shall I come to dwell in the forest amongst the deer, the birds, and the trees? They said nothing unpleasant. And other people in the crowd, they're all what is that? Gossips. And these birds will not gossip. Trees will not gossip. The deers will not gossip. And they said nothing unpleasant and are delightfully associated with. When dwelling in caves, in empty shrines, meaning that in the isolated place where the shrines are there, shrines meaning the place of the olden time, great teachers, they meditated at the foot of the trees, never look back, cultivate detachment. So detachment where we feel so attached to things, we should be detached a little bit. But otherwise, okay, I'm feeling must detach from my family. So ideally speaking, our job is that there are two ways of detaching it. Okay, very complicated, I'm attached to my family, I have many responsibilities. This is escapism. Whereas, okay, I have the responsibility, yes, so I have to take responsibility, and I have the capacity, as a Buddha nature, to take the responsibility. All the beings, not only this small family, all the beings, I have the capacity to take the responsibility. So I'll do that, and then you expand your affection to family, the neighbors, keep expanding it, and eventually to all the beings, near and dear ones, little beings, and the different people, to all the beings. So there, then what happens? Attachment disappears. What is attachment? Attachment is that, oh, I love this, I don't love this. This is polarity. Polarization happens in the mind. So when you love everybody, then there's no bias. Bias stops. Attachment is a bias. So expanded. It's not just detachment, okay, and then somebody is sick. Oh no, I have to practice meditation, right? No, we have. This is not acceptable. This is not dharma. Okay, so just imagine under such situation. Just imagine if the Buddha is next to you, or if His Holiness is next to you, and okay, it's time for meditation, and this person was sick, and the Holiness, what advice would you give? Should I meditate? Is my time for meditation? Or I sacrifice my meditation and go to help the other person? This was said, go to help. This is a real dharma. Buddha was said, go to help. This is a real dharma. So, what the Buddha taught was summarized by Acharya Vasubandhu. In his text, in Tibetan, it is Pavamiya Pamata Nevatani Chumata Kete Chandu Sambala Yuni Shildu Meboi. This is the Tibetan version. Tibetan verse, which is what Buddha taught, Acharya Vasubandhu summarized, where he says that the best beings to whom you can make offerings, and then you can so much merit would be like enlightened masters. Even if somebody is not enlightened masters, if they are your parents, they're sick people too. So to these, if you can make offerings, if you can offer services, the merit that accumulates is going to be innumerable times the more in the comparison with others. So this is the Buddha, His Holiness is enlightened master, no doubt. For your own benefit, would say that go to be of service to others who is in need. Okay. And 27. When shall I come? What's that? Yes. So in mind it said, when shall I come? Okay, yes. When shall I come? The 27, this typo there. When shall I come to dwell in places not clung as mine, which are by nature wide and open, and where I may behave as I wish without attachment? When shall I come to live without fear, having just a begging bowl and a few odd things, wearing clothes not wanted by anyone, and not even having to hide this body? So this is primarily related to the monastics. And the Buddha Shakyamuni made it very clear. The Buddha's teachings are just so practical. Meaning that, say, if you look at some of the rules, regulations, they look so rigid. For example, like having to spend the time not under shelter, only under trees and so forth. But the Buddha made it very clear, if you are somebody who has a tendency for, say, the aversion to easily arise, so then because of the harsh situation, aversion can easily arise. With aversion, your virtues will be destroyed. So the Buddha said that some of these the teachings, like to spend under not having a proper shelter, but under the tree and so forth, these are not meant for those people who have tendency for the quick and the arising of anger, aversion, so forth. Okay, so this is where we should be very practical. By the way, these are things people who are more ready for the strict practice directly, say, who embrace monasticism. Okay, 28. When shall I come to live without fear, just having begging bowl and few odd things, wearing clothes clothes not wanted by anyone, and not even having to hide this body, having devoted to the cemeteries? When shall I come to understand that this body? And these are the practices. Sometimes once in a while, just see that how many feel a little odd, or weird, eerie, going in the cemeteries. You sense? Little eerie. Oh no, what's the cemetery? It's the same. You sense? Yes. Okay, those who feel the much more same, actually try to go there. Intellectually, you may feel same, but when actually go there, intellectually you may feel the same, But when you go the evening, you may feel a little eerie, right? Okay, so dead people all are burned here, cremated here. So then they some techniques here, somebody's putting here like this, right? And then just see how it is like. Is it really like no difference or there's difference, right? You have to go there and see.
There is one in Firozshah,
Huh?
there is one Kabristan in Firozshah, in Delhi.
Did you go there?
It was right in front of my house. It was like a morning view.
Morning, you go there?
I went once at night.
Only once. Okay, so now you in Dharamshala, go down to Dharamshala. On the way, there is one place.
Church, St. George.
Not St. John. This is a very beautiful place where the cremation is done. You know, just go there. Huh? Go to Varanasi. Yes. Okay, so let's go to these places. And Varanasi, if it's too far away, it's nearby here. Go there. Nearby. Once I went there, you know, because that as a young boy, I say when a school child dies, then we wanted to go there, do this, and then quite, you know, very scary feeling. Yeah. So after that, I went there just for the purpose. They just went there to see what it's like, to observe my mind. Okay. Andrew, did you go there?
Yeah, the next week I got to Centerfold.
Yes. Do you go there?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's how I get to work.
No, they just, you come down or you just, it pass by.
It's like a path that cuts through it.
This is what I'm saying. So, say it's down and you have to go like this, you see it, that's not scary.
There's no down. It's just tombstones.
No, it's down actually. Where
Oh no, this one near my house. Where I live.
Okay. Okay, so just try. Sometimes you intellectually be missing. What's that? It's just the same. But if you will go there, you can be, you know, you feel like somebody's putting like this. Very scary, right? Okay. Okay. But it says 29. Having departed to the cemeteries, when shall I come to understand that this body of mine today, which is alive, which is living, animate, and the skeletons of others in the cemetery or in the crematorium are equal in being subject to decay? It's just the same. You know, it's just the same. What's the difference? Okay. If you go somewhere and say you see 4 or 5 skeletons walking like this, what do you feel? Very scary, yeah. So actually, yeah, each one of us is the skeleton here. Skeleton, they're surrounded by skeletons. That's a reality. Just think of that. Think of once in a while. Think of that. Think of that. In a family, 4 or 5 skeletons are together. You know. Yeah, it's reality. It's reality. It's real. It's real. It's real. It's real. Just think of that. Just think of that. And if you want to think more, still think more. There are more things to think of. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, skeleton one thing, and the other things also. Okay. 30. Then because of his order, not even they say the okay. So what I was simply saying was in my mind is coming here. Then because of his order, now the say real order is very different, and the perfume that you put is to hide the real order. Yes, you put in the perfume to hide the real order. Yes. Okay, I don't want to go too much. Then because of his order, real order, not even the foxes will come close to this body of mine. For this is what will become of it. Eventually, this is what my body will turn into. Let's think of that. 31. Although this body arose as one thing, the bones and the flesh with which it was created will break up and separate. So although you see that this body is something very precious, but when it comes to the cemetery, crematorium, and so forth, the bones of flesh with which it was created will break up and separate. how much more so will friends and others. At birth, I was born alone, and death too, I shall die alone. We also need to think of that. That, so sometimes in the family, when you lose somebody, you feel so lonely. Just think of that. At birth, I was born alone. At death, I shall die alone. As this pain cannot be shared by others, but you is our obstacle making friend. So this pain of the separation, whatever, when you go alone, your friends will not take it. So therefore, they say just being obsessed that to have a circle of friends. Okay, to have several friends who support you in your dharma growth, in your happiness, joy. That's very precious. Otherwise, what is several friends? So as this pain cannot be shared by others, what else are the obstacle making? So what is these friends? They only steal your time. Okay, 33. In the same way as travelers on the highway leave one place and reach another, likewise those traveling on the path of conditioned existence leave one birth and reach another. Okay, so in fact, that is one day you must Google search this, or maybe train travel. Train travel. There's one they say. You Google search that, and maybe I can also help Simla. You try to get it. This, when I first, it was not like movie, it is just maybe like 3-4 minutes a clip where it just scripts text. So it's like very beautiful. So we feel so attached to these slides, the family and so forth. And then separation happens. When the separation happens, so painful, acutely painful. So there, this is beautiful. And in fact, His Holiness, I remember, perhaps 40 years ago, I remember His Holiness, the public teachings, His Holiness said that once His Holiness, when was in Thailand, in a monastery, and there was the depiction of what all described here, you can see them. Visually, you can see them, the dead body, a fresh dead body, 1 week old, 2 weeks old, 3 weeks old, and how the body decays. You can see that. And then you can see that your body is by no means different from that. Okay, so in that clip, it's very beautiful set. If you think about it, it makes you a little, because that we flow in this direction and we are not aware. And this script, it makes us aware of what's actually going on. It makes you feel a little sad inside. It's very powerful. And for me, this is very, very helpful, very beneficial to think about impermanence. It says that imagine that a train starts from point A to point Z. Point A to point Z. It will take about, let's say, 3 days or 2 days. And then, say the train all started, and you board the train. You board the train. You are a new traveler, and already people are there in the train. Yes, no. You're already in the train. So you board the train from, let's say, Dharamshala or from Pathankot. Board the train, and then it goes to Kanyakumari, to the end of India. You board the train, and then you meet with the people already on the train. People will say, "Hi, please welcome, come here," and then they'll explain about the train because they know the train more than you. So they'll explain about the train, or the people will come to sell food and fruits, whatever eatables, so forth. They'll explain to you who are these people. They are your parents. You board the train, you got into the planet Earth. And then you meet your parents, and your elder brother, sister, so forth. And then gradually, these people who already did the train, and then at a certain point, they will say, "Oh, now we have to leave," right? And they'll say bye-bye, and they will leave. For there, your parents leaving the world, right? So meanwhile, in the train, it's not only you and the people in your compartment. There are hundreds of people here. And then they come, they leave, come, leave. That happens when you're not aware of. And then one day, and then again new people again brought in. And then you will explain this to you. And now you become their parents. And these who newly born, they are your children. And again, it comes for you to live. And then you will get down and say, bye-bye. What is that? Bye-bye to the world. Bye-bye to the world. Just reading this, you can just imagine the whole picture of the life. The parents, children, and children given birth, and parents leave, and children also give, and then you also leave. It's like a train journey. It gives a deep feeling of the sadness. This is how the reality, but we are not aware of that. So this, whoever depicted this is so beautifully done. You must watch it. Let's call it train journey of life. Okay. 33. In the same way as travelers on highway leave one place and reach another. So this is what we're doing. We say, my brother, my sister, my father, and then you fight, But say, for example, usually uncles. Two brothers, when they become uncles, they fight. Yes, when they're brothers, they're not fighting. When they become uncles, they fight. Two sisters, they don't fight. And when they become aunts, you understand what I'm saying? Huh? Salih.
Almost in every Indian family it is happening.
Not only Indian, everywhere. Everywhere in the world, right? Little brothers, sisters. Oh, my dad, my uncle, you're getting it? My uncle is so cruel, so selfish, take all the property. Then one day you become uncle. And then your nephew, your niece of your brother will say, my uncle. And your children will say, my uncle, right? It's very complicated. So it was said that think of this, the samsara is so trivial, extremely challenges, so trivial. So this was what happened around the time of the Buddha. There was one great teacher. Some say it was Shariputra. Shariputra, when he was going on these arms round, he saw a young mother, a very young mother, cupping a child, a newborn child, and eating a fish and beating a dog. You understand what I'm saying? A young mother cuddling the newborn and eating fish and beating the dog. Dog meaning your family dog. Why? The dog is expecting some meat. And you try to shoot the dog away and beat the dog. And this teacher, this great master from outside, he was seeing the scenario and he said, you are eating the flesh of the father, beating your mother, and cuddling your deadliest of the enemy. This is the nature of samsara, how sad it is. Okay, so this is what we are seeing just on the spot, this is what we see. But this teacher was seeing before that. Because this young lady, young mother, the fish that she was eating, her father passed away. Her father took birth as the fish, and she was eating it. And her mother passed away. Her mother took birth as a dog, and dog was expecting the fish, and the girl is beating the dog. And the newborn that she's cuddling with so much love and affection was the enemy, next door neighbor. Next door neighbor with whom you have always fight. You have fight all the time. Fight all the time. And then you as a little girl, supporting your dad, supporting your mom, fighting with the neighbor, right? Neighbor over small petty things, right? Say this is the border, the neighbor, and your son the border, and you keep your flower here, and they say, why you keep a flower? This is the common place. right? First of all, it's very fine. And you also don't have to keep the flower here. You can give some space. And you could do that. Just our mind is so batty, like a small child. This is how all the conflicts happen. Neighbors conflict, you know that? Very complicated. Okay, so this is exactly what happens. So, and whereas we feel that this my family, like this, but I would say that when you say my family, with this, your affection grows. This is very precious. But whereas with this, anger towards others, and then attachment builds up, and no meaning come out of that, this is something not really to be encouraged. Okay, so 33. In the same way as the travelers in the highway leave one place and reach another, likewise those traveling on the path of conditioned existence, samsara, leave one birth and reach another. This is just go by cycle. And I was once in Nigeria, and it was, of course, so there, from my hotel to the airport, there was a security guy to assist me to the airport. And the security guy, he came in a civil dress, and he was asking me about Buddhism, and I thought about the hood and so forth, and he's not interested in all these things. Finally, I don't know how the discussion went to about the rebirth. Then he took a great interest in this. He said, "Tell me more about this." I was confused. Why are you interested in this? Then what he said was that Nigeria is predominantly Christian and Muslims. Christians and Muslims. And in these two holy books, you don't find the mention of rebirth. But in reality, it's so commonly seen in Nigeria. The villages, you go to any village, you will see the young boys and girls, age 3, 4, they're always telling about their past life. They're telling with the past life. And people are confused. What is this? In the book, in the holy books, we don't find mention of such things. But these are the realities. This child is talking about the past life. They say, "This is not my family. This is not my house. My house is in this village, that village." And some of them even mention the names of the family members. And when they took them there, they could actually tally. So he said that there's no explanation. What is this? You're getting it? So this is exactly what we never know. What your next birth is. And then again, just you did so much attachment to this life, to your family of this life. Again, next life, the same thing happens. And whereas by being attached, if something comes out of this, that's good. Otherwise, it's just for the sake of the fighting and so forth. It's just, let's say, the perpetuation of the wheel of samsara, the pain. Okay. 34. Until the time comes for this body to be supported by 4 pallbearers, meaning that we die and then somebody has to carry our dead body. While the world is stand around stricken with graves, until then I shall retire to the forest. So it says that before that time comes, before I leave the world, I should make sure that I leave for the forest. It doesn't mean that you have to literally go to the forest, which means that cut off yourself from the meaningless things. You're getting it? Even if you stay at home, particularly if you have old parents to take care of, make sure that you take care of them. That is just the Dharma. Don't forget it. And say if you have the ailing husband, ailing wife, make sure that you take care of them. It's not just it's not that now I have to leave. So the thing is that really what the compassion is needed. When both sides are very physically healthy, fit, fine, competent, that the compassion doesn't really is so relevant there. But when other person is in a difficult situation, husband's in a difficult situation, stroke, wife stroke, so forth, then it's a real test how much we really love for the other side. That's a real compassion. We have to make sure that we have to take care of these things. So when I say leave to the forest, it doesn't mean that you literally leave. So cut off yourself. What's the benefit? You go to the forest, you'll be cut off from the unnecessary people, gossiping and so forth. So you try to create this environment in your home where your compassion grows and unnecessary gossip and unnecessary waste of your time is all cut off. 35. Befriending no one and begrudging no one. My body will dwell alone in solitude. Sometimes, even to cut off from your mobile is good. Cut from the mobile, but make sure that we are aware of the world. This is very important. Don't go to the extent of being too oblivious to the world, because you are a part of the world and you don't know where the world is heading towards. So we make sure that you know the world. So for this, keep in touch with the current affairs, but not that the same information you get it like 20 times. No need. One time is good enough. You're getting it? Sometimes you get the same information from different sources. You go through all these people, social media, everything, and then just unnecessarily just blast your mind, thinking the whole world is so dark. It's not dark. There are so many good things that happen in the world also. Okay. 35. Befriending no one and begrudging no one. My body will dwell alone in solitude. If I'm already counted as a dead man by others, when I die, there will be no mourners. Okay. 36. And as there will be no one around to disturb me with their mourning, thus there will be no one to distract me from my recollection of the Buddha. Then you get a chance to meditate on the Buddha, the four seals, Bodhichitta, wisdom emptiness, and so forth, and Buddha nature, and so forth. 37. Therefore I shall dwell alone, happy and contented, with few difficulties. Okay, with few difficulties, it also means that, so better translation would be happy and contented with least difficulties. Few difficulties is connotation. It can be like both ways. That okay, yeah, we will have difficulties. Not necessarily. With least difficulties. The slight nuance here. And happy and contented with least difficulties, or in English, it can be for native speakers, it can be like same as few difficulties. What? Least difficulties. In Tibet is least difficulties. In very joyful and beautiful forest, pacifying all distractions. Having given up all other intentions, being motivated by only one thought of awakening your Buddha nature. Only one thought of awakening Buddha nature, to attain fearlessness and to attain infinite happiness, I shall strive to settle my mind in equipoise, meaning in the meditation, by means of calm abiding. So what is put in the bracket is the translator's edition. And to subdue it with superior insight, meaning with the special insight. He translates superior insight, special insight, to go for the proactive, to make the mind proactive, and by the calm abiding, to make the mind the not reactive, suppress the reactivity. 39. Both in this world and the next, desires give rise to great misfortune. So many of the texts in Buddha indicated that desire is the one which is the root of the miseries. So this is exactly, both in this world and the next, desires give rise to great misfortune. In this life, killing, bondage and flaying, and then next, the existence of the hells. For the sake of, okay, now it says for the sake of women. So this where the target is the men. The audience is the men. His Holiness says for the audience is the girls, but for the sake of the men. Just change it. You're getting it? It's about the gender attraction. Or otherwise we can say for the sake of the opposite gender. Many requests are first of all made through go-betweens. All forms of evil and even notoriety are not avoided for this sake. I engage in fearful deeds, yes, just to be with that, the person of the opposite gender. I engage in fearful deeds for them and will even consume my wealth. I waste a lot of wealth in doing so. True? Not true? Hey, Shubham, not true. True. Did you waste wealth? Did you waste wealth?
Not well.
Food?
Yeah.
Right. The what? Costly hotels? No. Okay. Okay. So 42 are nothing other than skeletons. Okay, what is that? Sorry. 41. I engage in fearful deeds for them and will even consume as well. But these very bodies of theirs, they are greatly enjoying the sexual embrace, are nothing other than skeletons. Very true. Okay, they are not autonomous and are identityless. Rather than being so desirous and completely obsessed, why do I not go to the state beyond soul, where all my miseries stop and your happiness expands to infinity? 43. In the first place, I made efforts to lift her veil. So during the marriage, lift her veil, or the face veil, and then it was raised. When it was raised on the opposite side, the girl or the man, whatever, bashfully looked down. Previously, whether anyone looked or not, that was the old style. Now the new style is very different. Right? On the new side, everything is in gay. Right? Okay. Previously, whether anyone looked or not, her faces head was covered with a cloth. Now, when that person died, opposite gender dies, then the face is covered, and then 44. But now, why do I run away upon directly beholding this face that disturbs the mind? Now, after the death of the other person, when you lift the veil of the face, and then you just feel like running away. This face that disturbs the mind, as it is being revealed to me by the vultures. In the olden times, one practice of disposing the dead body is feeding the vultures. In some cases, cremation. Some cases, burying. There are different ways of doing it. Some cases, throwing the water and so forth. Okay. 45. Previously, I completely protected her body. When others cast their eyes upon it, why, miser, do you not protect it now? It's the same thing. It's not only the boys to the girls, it's girls to the boys also the same. Why, miser, do you not protect it now, while it is being devoured by these birds, or by cremated by the fire? And cremated in the fire. 46. Since vultures and others are eating this pile of meat that I behold, why did you offer flower garlands, scented ornaments to that which now is the food of others? If I'm frightened by the skeletons I see, even though they do not move, why am I not frightened by walking corpses? Do you agree? Okay, that's the thing. Will it take a few seconds to think of, the nearby skeleton? Think of that. Sharon. Think of, people around, including me, a skeleton. Think of that. Okay. 48. 47. If I'm frightened by the skeletons I see, even though they do not move, the non-moving skeletons, they scare you. Moving skeletons, they don't scare you. It's even more scary, But they're covered by nice plaster. So therefore, the skeleton is not it's there. It's moving skeleton. So even though they do not move, why am I not frightened by the walking corpses, which are moved around by few impulses? Although I'm attached to it when it's covered with skin, why do I not decide when it is uncovered, that I'm dead, to be exposed to the cremation, burial, or the given to fed to the birds? Since I've no need for it, then why copulate with it when it is covered? Since both excrement and saliva, so they are solely from the food, why do I dislike the excrement of the other person and find joy in the saliva of the other person? And then say that if you said it's the touch which is pleasant, cotton too is soft to touch. Why? But while I find no sexual delight in the pillow or cotton, I think that the opposite gender's body does not emit a putrid odor. Lustful one, you are confused as to what is unclean. Thinking that they cannot sleep with this cotton, although it is soft to touch, confused, negative and lustful people become angry towards it instead. If I'm not attached to what is unclean, then why do I copulate with lower parts of the others' bodies, which are merely cages of bones tied together with muscles, plastered over with the mud of the flesh? I myself contain many unclean things, and not on the other side, also you also same. I myself contain many unclean things, which I constantly have to experience. So why, because of an obsession for uncleanliness, do I desire others' bags of filth? This is yeah, that's true. Yeah, this is amazing. We never thought like this. We never thought like this. That's very true. Okay. 24. But it's a flesh that I enjoy. If this is what I wish to touch and behold, why do I not desire it in its natural state toward any mind when a person dies? That's a very natural state. Why do you desire that? Furthermore, any mind that I may desire is unable to touch, to be touched or behold, and whatever I'm able to touch will not be mental. So, say actually what you feel attached to is just purely physical. But you think there's a person there, there's a mind there, but mind you cannot touch. And so with the physical, that body and that person, the physical is the same, and the mind you cannot touch. And whatever I'm able to touch will not be mental. And why indulge in this meaningless compilation? It is not so strange that I do not understand the bodies for others to be of an unclean nature, but it is indeed strange that I do not understand my own very body to be in nature unclean. Having forsaken the young lotus flower, unfolded by beams of the sunlight, free of cloud, why with the mind craving for what is unclean do I reveal and do I revel in the case of filth? So lotus is a beautiful thing, but instead of the lotus, we feel attached to the opposite gender, which is the case of a filth. Since I do not wish to touch a place that is smeared with excrement, if something is there with excreta, you would not dare to touch it. Then why do I wish to touch the body from which that excrement arose? It comes up. If I'm not attached to what is unclean, why do I copulate with the lower parts of others' bodies, which arise from the unclean field of women or the opposite gender, and are produced by the seeds within it? I have no wish for a small, dirty maggot. A maggot is the what? Worms, which has come from a pile of filth. So why do I desire this body, which by nature is grossly unclean, for it too was produced by filth? Not only do I not disparage the uncleanliness of my own body, but because of an obsession for what is unclean, I desire other bags of filth as well. Even attractive things such as savory foods, cooked rice and vegetables, make the ground dirty and unclean should they be spat out after being in the mouth. Eat it and then you throw it out, we say it's dirty. Although such the uncleanliness is obvious, if still I have doubts, I should go to the cemeteries and look at the unclean bodies of, what is that? Okay, unclean bodies of others that have been thrown away there. It's okay. So what you see in your life, and then you go to the cemeteries, see, just, intellectually, I would say that this may be not much of difference to the doctors. We're so used to that. But for us, there's huge difference. What if he says a real person and what if says a dead person in the cemetery? It's a huge difference. So the author is advising us, go there and see it to yourself. Okay, which verse? 64. Having realized that when the skin is rent open, so now the skin, this was just the skin is like the plaster. You remove the skin and what's inside. Having realized that when the skin is rent open, they give rise to a great deal of fear. How will such things as these ever again give rise to joy? The sense with which someone's body is anointed, so we put artificial perfume, or sandalwood and the like, but not that of the other's body. Other's body smell is very different. No other's body smell, your body is same. Original smell is very different from the perfume. You agree? Original smell. Okay. If you don't take shower for 1 or 2 days, then original smell will come. Right? So to hide that, we use the perfumes. And then people say, oh, he smells so good, she smells so good. No, it's an artificial smell. Original smell is behind that. Okay. 66. Since the body has a naturally foul odor, isn't it good to be unattached to it? Why do those who crave for the meaningless things of the world anoint this body with pleasant scents? And furthermore, if it is a pleasant scent of a sandalwood, how can it come from the body? It's not coming from the body, it's artificially put. So why am I attached to others' bodies? Because of sense that are other than theirs. 68. Since the naked body left in its natural state, which may attain death, is very frightening due to its long hairs and nails, its yellowish foul-smelling teeth, and is being coated with the odor of the dirt. And why do I make such an effort to polish it, like cleaning a weapon that will cause me harm? Very powerful reasoning. Hence, this entire world is disturbed with insanity due to the exertions of those who are confused about themselves. When my mind rises above worldly concerns, through having beheld nothing but skeletons in the cemetery, will there be any joy in graveyard cities which are filled with moving skeletons? Therefore, these are unclean bodies of the opposite gender, not necessarily female, opposite gender, are not found without paying a price. We try to make the other person happy and waste time, resources, everything. In order to obtain them, I exhaust myself, and in future will be injured in the health. In so doing, jealousy, all these things arise. And then this jealousy outcome is that we suffer a future in health. As a child, I'm unable to increase my wealth. And as we say, as a child, you are unable to increase your wealth. And as a youth, what can I do being unable to afford the, say, husband and wife? At the end of life, say, when you have a little wealth, do you become an old person? And what can you do? What good will be a sex be then? 73. Some even lustful people wear themselves out working all day, and when they return home in the evening, their exhausted bodies lie prostrate like corpses. And some have to suffer being disturbed with travel and having to go a long way from home. Although they long for their spouses, they do not see them for years at a time. And some who wish for benefit due to confusion even sell themselves, so just for their sake, to have the partner. And then they just sell themselves for the sake of the spouse, of the gender. And not attaining what they wish, they are aimlessly driven by the winds of others' actions. Some sell their own bodies and without any power are employed by others. Even when their wives give birth, their children fall at the feet of the trees and in lonely places that you cannot even meet them. So because that you have to pay. You have to work for somebody else to get some money to for that purpose. Some fools who are deceived by desire, wishing for a livelihood, think, I shall earn my living as a soldier. Then soldier or whatever livelihood. Then although afraid of losing their lives, they go to war. Others become slaves for the sake of the profit. Some lustful people even cut their bodies. Others impale themselves on the points of sticks. Some stab themselves with daggers, and others burn themselves. Such things as these are quite apparent. Yes, it does happen. Very sad things. Due to the torment involved in collecting it, protecting and finally losing it, I should realize wealth to be fraught with infinite problems. Those who are distracted by the attachment to it have no opportunity to gain freedom from the miserable condition of existence. We can now move with the wealth. Now to say the opposite gender is one issue, next is the wealth, the craving for the wealth. 18. In the same way as animals drawing carriages are only able to eat a few mouthfuls of grass, likewise desirous people just seeking the wealth have many disadvantages such as these and little profit. His Holiness the Dalai Lama put it very beautifully that the interviewer asked His Holiness, what do you see as the greatest irony of the human beings? His Holiness says that human being itself is the greatest irony, because they work so hard, sacrifice their health to get money. They sacrifice their health to get money, work so hard, 10 hours, 12 hours, 16 hours work, sacrifice their health. When they lose their health, then they go to sacrifice their money. First, for the money, they sacrifice their health. When they lose their health, then sacrifice the money to get back health. And the health that you get is not the same as what you had before. And then they always think of the future. They never think of the present. And they don't live in the present, no, they live in the future. And then they act as though like they're not going to die. They live as though they're not going to die. and they die without living at all. These are the agonies that is not identified. Okay. 82. Altruistic desire will certainly perish, and then I shall fall into hellish states. Altruistic desire meaning that I want this, I want this, I have this well, I have that well, I want this, and then my brother is so unkind, my sister is so unkind. Not only the what? What I'm talking about is a family fights over the wealth, over the property distribution. Sure? Is this problem?
Sure.
Sort of. Okay. Someday, and when will this stop? It'll keep going like this. And then meanwhile, your hair is black now. Right? Meanwhile, the hair becomes white. And still it goes. And finally, is there any advocate? Lawyers? And finally, you're actually beating the lawyers. Right? You're beating the lawyers. Right? And lawyers, they get the job. Right? And then what you do, you love your children so much. And then you are about to leave the world. And then this package of problems. Right? Pass it down to a child. Take it. This is my gift for you. And then child will continue. Again, the child with white and black hair. Eventually become white hair. One day, there was at the airport in Delhi, there was a gentleman, boot suit, tip top, and he came to me. And then Venerable Anila, and please take a seat, yes. Okay, Anna, can you hear me? Anila, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Yes. Okay. So, this gentleman asked me, are you going to Dharamshala? And he said, yes. And I said, where did you come from? He said, I came from one place A. And I said, because he's very open, he asked me, I also asked him very openly, I said, what for you came to Delhi? And he said that I came for a litigation case. And he told me, I have 700 litigation cases. I have 700 court cases. Court cases. 700. And he said that I come only for the major ones. For the minor ones, I send the lawyer. For the major ones, I come with the lawyer. There are 700. Why? Then he said that he showed me the bullet mark. He said that one of the cases was that what kind of cases? Maybe family properties. My father and my uncle, 2 brothers. When they're small, they say, uncle. Now they become uncles. Now they're fighting. And his uncle sent some, what do you call these? Gangsters, about 4 or 5 of them, to his house. And the moment they entered the house, they started shooting at him. And luckily, it just went past like this, and he was hospitalized. And he survived. And then I said that, okay, this is a very sad story. So now, how many children you have? And he said 2 or 3. I said that, don't leave the same, the problem on your children. Don't let them become uncles and aunts, but of the properties. You have to make a clean divide in your properties. This for you, there's no complication, no fights. And then when you leave the world, don't pass down the fights. You're getting it? This is what I told him. And he said, yes, I already made it very clear that this will go to you, this will go to B, this will go to C. Okay, these are very big problems. Okay, verse number 80, 82. Objects of desire will, and then in the process, just imagine what kind of anger, intensity of anger, and it's a long-lasting anger, which means you accumulate so much negative karma, and anger destroy your virtues. And then the outcome is going to hell, going to undesirable places. So this is totally undesirable. So we think about, we need to see the bigger picture. Let us not be trapped in the small picture. Bigger picture. With the bigger picture, see how to resolve things and finally work to awaken the real treasure inside, not external treasure. Work to uncover the internal treasure. 82. Objects of desire will certainly perish, and then I shall fall into hellish states. But Buddhahood itself is attained with just 1 millionth of the difficulty. Same, all the efforts that you put in, fights with the properties, and over the gender, jealousy, so you invest lots of time, resources, energy there, and then you leave everything and you die. And again you start new chapter. Again the same thing repeats like this. So if the amount of the effort that you put in this direction is like X amount, the amount that you require to attain Buddhahood is just 1 millionth of this X amount. 1 million, a small portion. With a small portion, you put a little bit of effort out of this enormity of the effort that you put in since time immemorial till now. If you could just dedicate part of it towards your awakening inside, your truth, your hidden treasure inside, you can easily attain Buddhahood. Okay, so what's happened with Geshe Milarepa, who I shared about, the great teacher who became enlightened in a single lifetime. So what happened was that there was the conflict. Just to give you a quick overview of his life story, was that he was born in a very wealthy family, and the father was extremely successful businessman. And then he was born, I think he was about 7 years old, and he has a little sister, and the father was going to die. And the father, was not too confident, meaning that, out of love for his wife and for his 2 children. So he gave the custody of the family to his brother and sister, saying that, please take care of my family. All the wealth that he accumulated in his life, all were passed to the hands of the brother and sister, thinking that they will be nice to his family, to take care of. Actually, the family, the mother, Geshe Milarepa's mother, could have easily taken care of. But then, out of love for his family, he entrusted the whole responsibility to his brother and sister. And brother and sister, seeing the wealth, the greed took over. And then Geshe Milarepa, the sister-in-law and the nephew and niece, they were kicked out of the house, and all the wealth captured, and they were made beggars. Then finally, the Geshe Milarepa's mother was so angry, and she asked his son, you must go to practice black magic to destroy uncle and aunt. Okay, it's just a very short story. There's more detail there. Finally he learned the black magic, and he destroyed. Destroyed meaning he destroyed uncle and aunt. They did not die, but many family members, the horses, the houses, they were all destroyed by the black magic. He did. And finally he regretted, and he went in search of the teacher. So finally he met with his teacher, Geshe Milarepa, and okay. So he met his teacher, Geshe Milarepa, and then finally, the say then he was transformed. He was transformed, and then he came back. He came back, and many years later, he came back and he saw a young boy, a shepherd, a young boy, and he could see his own house down there, which has become like ruins. And he asked this young boy, the young boy could not identify him. He's the owner, actually, son of this family, and asked, "Who is this? Whose house is this?" And the shepherd boy said that nobody's living there. Nobody's living there. Once upon a time, there was a rich family, the father, mother, and the mother died, and there was the boy who became a black magician, and the girl who became a beggar, not roaming around. No, nobody's there. Everybody's scared to go there because the son is a black magician, and everybody's scared of his black magic. His black magic destroyed they killed many people and many animals and so forth, the houses. So therefore, everybody's scared to go there. And you look like a yogi. Yogi means somebody who's a Dharma practitioner. And if you can go there, you also find that there is the book, the holy book, Buddha's teachings book there, and you can get it. So he went there. He knows that this is his house. He went down, and then what he said was that he went there and he saw a skeleton lying there. Whose skeleton? The mother's skeleton lying there. Then what he said is that when the mother is here, the son is gone. When the son comes back, the mother is gone. Even if the mother and son were to meet, there's nothing, there's no meaning. So better it is for me to go in solitude to practice Dharma. Then he said that when the house is there, the son owner has left. When the owner came, the house is in a bad shape. Even if the house and the owner are together in a nice way, there's no meaning. Better it is for me to leave to practice the awakening. When the sister is here, the brother has left. When the brother came, sister is gone. Even if the brother and sister meet, there's no meaning. Better it is for me to live for awakening with the nature. When the scripture is here, the owner is left. When the owner came, the scripture is ruined by the water. So even if the two meet, there's no purpose, there's no meaning. Better it is for me to leave to practice the awakening with the nature. So he collected all the bones of the mother, and then scripture also he took, and then went out. And there was one gentleman who was making some tsatsa. How many tsatsa reasons? Tsatsa. Okay. Tsatsa is like, say the what do you call it? Like the mold,
More than like stand
like mold with the Buddha statue and so forth. So in Tibet, this was the tradition. When somebody died, you cremate the body or whatever, and the remains, then you give it to somebody who will make these molds, and the remains, the bones, will be associated with the tsatsa to connect the deceased with the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. Okay, this is, and then there was one young man who just a little bit new, and many years ago when he was in the village. So and this man identified Jismilabha very quickly. Oh, you are the one. And then Jismilabha said, okay, now can you do this work for me to make tsatsa for my mom's bones? And I have nothing to give you as a salary. I'll give you the book, holy book in Tibet. So, okay, this is, I don't know why I shared this. What is that? 83. Oops.
Page 80, verse 83.
83. Oops. Okay, 83. Continue involved in, oh, yes, that's why I said this, was that then he left in the mountains. He left in the mountains to meditate. And then his aunt came to know that his nephew already came back. So aunt was scared. The nephew may come to claim the property. Now the nephew is already in his like 30s or 40s. He'll come to claim the property. Aunt is now haggard, old, but craving is still young. Craving for the property is still young. Body is haggard, and the nephew is physically strong. He's also a black magician. In the eyes of the aunt, still he's a black magician, not an evolved master. So aunt went there. Craving is very young. Went to and they also heard that now her nephew has become like a spiritual practitioner, and she went there. Oh, my nephew, you're amazing. This is what aunt said. You're amazing. Now you become a holy person. I know you don't need the property. You don't need the property. Just say, if I ask you, you'll say, keep it. But please tell me verbally that, so that for me to feel happy, just say, aunt, keep the property yourself. Just say this, I'll be very happy. I'll be very happy. And Jesus said that, I don't care about the property, you take it, right? And aunt was so happy. She went there. So becoming old, still craving for these things. Craving becomes younger. You're getting it? So this way, we should be really careful. If not into these things, I was to be very honest. This is what I oftentimes tell people, that say that what I'm doing, whatever little benefit that I do to other people, help other people. When I think of my own thought processes, natural thought process, and what I've learned, the Buddha's teachings, and then because of my seeing the wonder of the Buddha's teaching, so gradually change. All whatever little benefit that I'm able to contribute to other people is all because of the teachings of Buddha, which transformed, which changed my mind. So this is what I can very strongly say. So therefore, until we meet with these precious teachings and we try best to put into practice, unless we do that, if we let our natural mental state go in this direction, it can do a disaster for us. It can be very, very damaging. So that we should be very careful. So to take maximum advantage of these teachings, they're so precious, amazing. Okay. Which verse? 84. 83. Involved in continually exhausting myself for the sake of what is not very great. Hence, a desirous experience, greater misery than those following the awakening way of life. But for them, there's no awakening. So what is the difference between people who put effort in dharma? They're also struggling. People who put effort in acquiring the properties, the finds, and so forth. And these both are putting effort, but at the end of the day, those who put effort in awakening Buddha nature, they will attain enlightenment. Fearlessness and infinite happiness will come to you. Whereas those people who put effort in my property, I should get more. Some stories are so sad. Brother and sister, they're so close when they're little boys and girls. And when they grow older, some custom, some tradition has it that it's not legal. It's not like this. By law, it's not like this. Just by the practice, that the boy gets everything. Boy gets everything, and then by law, it's not permissible. By law, in majority of the places, but in India, by law, it's the same. Boy will no difference. But the boy is expecting everything for oneself. And the other one's your sister. Oh, you should support. You should support. And this is the opposite. Craving. right? I should get everything. And your sister's poor. Oh, who cares? This is the attitude. I've seen that. Who cares? Who cares? Oh, there is that. You can so much negative karma. This is ignorance. Okay. 84. When having contemplated the miseries of hell, it will be clear that there's nothing comparable to the harm caused by desirous beings, by weapons, poison, fire, ravens, and foes. Having in this way developed disillusion with desire, I should generate joy for solitude. So let go of the things and okay, it's fine as long as you have something to eat, something to as a shelter, something to wear, and then with that you have time. As you continue to grow, you have wealth. It doesn't mean you don't be younger. No, it doesn't happen. You continue to grow older. Meanwhile, whatever strength that you have, try to put that in awakening your hidden treasure. I should generate joy for solitude. The fortunate one stroll in peaceful forests, devoid of disputes and disturbing conceptions, meaning afflictions. They live in joyful houses of vast flat stones, cooled by the scented moonlight, fanned by the peaceful silent forest breeze, thinking of bodies of benefit for others. They will dwell for as long as they wish in empty houses, at the feet of trees and in caves, having abandoned the pain of clinging to and guarding possessions. They abide independent, free of care, living as they choose, desireless, have no ties with anyone. Even the powerful have difficulty finding a life as happy and content as this. Having such ways as these, and though about their thought about the excellences of solitude, I should completely pacify distorted conceptions and meditate on the awakening mind. Thus far, the preparation is done. What should be done in order for you to prepare your mind to the meditation? So that is already explained. Now is the section from 89 down as what should I meditate on? So the content of meditation should be Bodhichitta says, and meditate on awakening mind. Okay, so and now with awakening mind, what's the first thing to do is equalizing steps and others. Okay, what are the 9 steps? Hey, what happened? Shema, what are 9 steps? Hey, anyone? What's the 9 steps? Okay, yes, Amita. Equalizing self and others. Which is the first? Okay, let's see what it says here. 90, verse number 19. It reads, first of all, I should make an effort to meditate upon the equality between self and other. So equality, starting from there. You getting it? Okay. So it's not that in this text you will see the 9 steps, but 9 steps, and this is more like later formulated by the great masters based on what was taught here. So it says it begins with the equalizing self and others. I should protect all beings as I do myself, because we are all equal in wanting pleasure and not wanting pain. So, what's the reason that we give for the first step, equalizing self and others? In what we be equal?
Wanting pleasure.
We are all same in wanting happiness. We are all same in not wanting suffering, and we are all same in having the potential for the hidden treasure inside. We are all same in that. But you will stop here. Okay, dedication prayer. Page 5, similar. Page 5-2, page 52. I dedicate the marriage thus gathered, first to realization of the teachings in the prayers of Buddhas and the Bodhisattvas 3 times, and to the whole of the doctrine of scripture and insight. Man all lives through the force of this marriage, never separate from the 4 wheels of the Mahāyāna vehicle, and accomplish all the stages of the path, renunciation, Bodhichitta, fulfillment of the 2 stages. From my 2 collections, vast the space that I have amassed from working with effort at this practice for a great length of time, may I become the chief leading Buddha for all those whose minds, wisdom, eyes, blinded ignorance. Yuge Bonjomba Sege Lumbo Tabu Jibe Ku Shage Gyabo Kyoma Chaselo Om Mone Mone Mahamona Swaha Om Mone Mone Mahamona Swaha Age tuje shage riso chon shenge mito yuge monjoba sege lumbo tabu jibe ku shage gyabo kyoma chaselo Om Mone Mone Mahamona Swaha Om Mone Mone Mahamona Swaha Age tuje shage riso chon shenge mito yuge bonjomba sege lumbo tabu jibe ku shage gyabo kyoma chaselo Om Mone Mone Mahamona Swaha 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 Om Mone Mone Mahamona